Hey y'all, it's Dr. Shamanda. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things mental health, personal finance, and overall strategies to live your best life. Alright, you guys, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, I am a licensed mental health and addictions therapist and a certified financial therapy candidate. And I specialize in helping high achieving women heal their relationship with money. On this channel, I share a lot about personal finance, right? I mean, it's titled Personal Finance with Dr. Shamanda. So there you go. But this is kind of like my own personal diary to a certain extent. Like I share my own personal experiences with money. And I talk about the very thing that is super, super, super exciting and important to me, which is the intersection between money and mental health. Like, I love it. I could talk about this all day, y'all. Like, seriously. And so I decided to do for February a 28-day money education challenge. So every day this month, I am posting a video, 10 minutes or less, about a topic related to money and mental health. So today's topic is why, excuse me guys, if you haven't watched my last cold videos, you know I'm overcoming this cold. So we're almost there. We're almost to the finish line. So just hold space for me in my voice. And send prayers, please, because anyway, today's topic is when financial advice actually makes you feel worse. Okay, I want to talk about that because personal finance is personal. We all know that, right? We all know that we're all on our own journey, and sometimes while we're on social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, we hear financial experts talking about, oh, you should do this, you should do X, Y, and Z, or why haven't you saved this amount by this, this year? And so sometimes that can create and trigger some anxiety and even depression when it comes to money. And so I want to talk about how those things might impact you, right? For the most part, the consensus is that we need to save more, we need to invest early, invest more, and we need to build multiple streams of income so that we can essentially retire early. And I think for the most part, most of us, especially millennials and Gen Z, we're just like, I'm not retiring at 65. You can forget. If you think that I'm about to sit here and wait to 65 to stop working, you forget it. Now, I think that some of us actually love what we do, right? Like, I'm in love with therapy now, like finally back in love with it. At one point, I was burnt out. And I was like, I'm good. Let me put me in a manager position. Put me in a teaching role. I'll even do content, whatever I got to do. I'll make movies, whatever. I don't want to do therapy no more. But I'm in love with it. So technically, I could see myself doing it until I'm 65, like, or longer, right? I can be one of those very seasoned therapists that's like with the gray hair and just like coming to me for all my wisdom. But the reality is this retirement isn't necessarily just about like how long you work. It's really more so about money, right? Like your ability to stop working, right? You can retire next year if you have enough money to sustain you and your lifestyle. So it's not about your age, it's about how much money you have. So if you're 65 and you actually love the work that you're doing, but you know that at any moment you can stop because you have this nest egg, like, and you can survive. And maybe you just only want to see clients or whatever your service is, maybe once a week, you can do that. And so technically you're not retired. You know what I mean? So that's what most of the personal finance information is about on the internet. But let's talk about this, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about is this whole comparison culture. Now, most of the time you're going to see this content talking about, hey, like I'm 25 and I make $1 million in a year, right, in my business or whatever. And maybe you're just now starting out. You're just like I barely got a couple clients in my business. Like, what am I doing wrong? So this whole comparison thing. Then there's the FIRE movement. Now, I'm not even about to be a hypocrite because I was part of the FIRE movement. We're going to see if I'm completely out of it. I don't know. Like, no shame, no hate toward the FIRE movement at all. But sometimes, it can add this pressure. Like, oh, I need to hit this amount of money so that I can retire by X, Y, Z date or whatever. And so depending on what you got going on, that may not feel very possible for you, right? And obviously there's some mindset stuff we got to work on there, because it probably is possible for you. But what people don't talk about, and let's just call it what it is, most of the people in the FIRE movement, they make really good money, so they have this margin to be able to save in a very consistent and just save large amounts of money in a short period of time. Like for me, right? Like I am a doctor, I have a doctorate, I'm a licensed therapist. I made a decent amount of money in my salary, my most recent role. It's definitely above average, right, in terms of income, what most people make. So, and I obviously was focused on paying off debt very fast. So I was really, one paycheck could cover all of my expenses. So guess what? The second paycheck of the month and whatever money I was making from my businesses, that can all go to savings and investing. So when you guys saw me pay $1,500 or whatever toward a car payment, right, to pay off my car fast, or putting this large chunk of money toward my investments, that's why it was possible, because I made decent money. And if you look around at the FIRE movement, a lot of them, doctors, lawyers, engineers, I'm not going to say all of them, but for the most part, and I think that's the argument against the FIRE movement, is that, like, okay, how does this really work for somebody who has more of a average to lower income, though, right? Sometimes you can see a lot of income flexing on social media as well, and then people posting their portfolios. And yes, I was one of them, but I did it for motivation. I'm thinking, like, this will motivate people, because I was at zero 24 months ago. Now you see this 10 and this 20 and this 30 and this 40 and this 50. You know what I mean? And I think that's motivational. But for some people, it actually does more damage, because it's like, wait, well, if she's 36 or 37 and I'm 38 or I'm 40, wait, is this even possible? Like, can I even catch up? Or is something wrong with me? Did I do something wrong? And it just creates this anxiety, because some people don't take it as like a motivational, inspirational post, right? Now, that's not something I can control or someone else, but it's just something to be mindful of, right? So shame plus urgency plus scarcity can be part of this whole comparison culture. All right, the second thing I want to mention is that there's a lot of advice without context. So again, kind of what I was mentioning is, a lot of times most of these people won't tell you how much money they're making, right? They might have a stable income. The one thing that I noticed too, and I'm just going to call it what it is, and that's why I always check to see who this person is and their background. I don't, as a single woman, as a single mother who has, older teenage kids now, but who started out as a regular single mom, I'm not going to compare myself to someone who's married, because you got two incomes. And yes, you might be a business owner, but guess what? Your husband or your partner, spouse, whatever, works a full-time job. So guess what? If you don't have any revenue in your business that month, you're still good, because you still got that person's income. So you got to make sure that you check in all of that before you compare yourself to those people. They might not have any debt. They also may not have any trauma when it comes to money. Maybe they grew up in a very stable family system, and so they're like, oh, I'm about to jump out here and do this. They're not risk adverse. Maybe you have some trauma and you might be a little bit more risk adverse, and maybe they just don't have any financial instability in their history. All right, the last thing I want to mention is the nervous system and the money, right? So you have to make sure, be aware that if you grew up with any instability in your background, then it's going to create this anxiety and maybe even some depression. And then you might find yourself really hustling and grinding just to compare and compete with people who don't have those other things stacked against them. And so I just want to be mindful that some of this financial advice on the internet can be harmful towards you, right? And so again, I'm going to, no shameless plug, I am a therapist. I am literally getting advanced training on financial therapy to specifically help people heal their relationship with money. But I've done this work for a long time. So I'm offering, my services to those who are interested in therapy in North Carolina, and those who are interested in financial coaching and mindset coaching around this and healing some of that trauma. So I'm excited to help, but just know that even if you don't work with me, just know that all advice on the internet around finances is not good advice, okay? All right, guys, I hope you like this video. If you do, like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one for day 21. We're almost to the end, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you. Bye, y'all.